Good morning, grade 9 students. Welcome to our English class.
Good morning, ma'am.
So I am your teacher, Gayan Alagao. So before we begin, let us have first a short prayer to be led by Gretchen Alagao.
Okay, so let's pray. Let's bow our heads and pray. Ayan. God, thank you for today. Thank you, Lord, na nandito kami ngayon to learn a new lesson. And I pray na you will open our mind, our hearts, Panginoon, na lahat ng matutunan namin will be applied, Panginoon, at lahat mag-sink in sa amin, Panginoon. Thank you, God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, thank you, Gretchen. Okay, so please write your name in the comment box to serve as your attendance. Miss Era, Gretchen, Gladys. Okay. So, how are you today, class?
Good. Very good po.
We are good.
Wow, that's good to hear that. So, before we proceed, let us have first a review. Do you remember what was our last topic that we have discussed? Yes, Gretchen?
Ma'am,
Open
it's
your mic.
about context clues.
Yes, very good. So, what is context clause?
Context clues are words that appear in sentences to help understand the meaning of difficult words.
Very good, Gretchen. So, what are the different types of context clues? Do you remember? Yes,
Yeah.
Gladys, open your mic.
Types of context clause are definition, antonym, synonym, comparison, and example.
Wow, yes, very good. So, before we start, let us try first this activity. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
We're
Okay,
ready.
let's get started. So, what comes into your mind when you see this logo?
Itbulaga.
Bulaga.
Yes, very good.
Bawag famous show.
Yes, you're right. So, this logo is from famous non-time show Eat Bulaga, wherein the player will be asked by the host to guess or identify among the participants who is being described. So, was there a time in your life when you caught yourself prejudging others?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, ma'am.
So, do you consider yourself as judgmental?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Then, how will you judge this dialogue? Romeo, kindly read the given dialogues. Please open your mic, Romeo.
How will you judge this given dialogues? Ano ma...
Kindly read the given dialogues, Romeo. Again.
Tanan, ma'am?
Yes, Romeo. Yes.
I don't want blacks living in my neighborhood. Second, I don't want Jews owning business in my town. Third, I don't want Muslim community center in lower Manhattan.
So, thank you, Romeo. So, do you believe these statements show fairness and equality?
No.
Yeah. No. I mean,
No, it's a no.
So,
no, ma'am.
yes. So, if your answer is no, then you are very good in detecting prejudices. But what made you say that the statements show prejudices?
It shows discrimination.
Yes, you're right. So, another answer?
Unequal treatment.
Yes, very good.
It's
So
unfair.
the statements shows discrimination and inequality. because of the negative attitudes towards people, like the statements prejudge against Black, Jews, and Muslims. Basically, because of what?
Race. Because of the
Because of
race.
their race, right? Nationality and religion. And because
Color.
of their background, people tend to prejudice them. Prejudice, I mean prejudge them. And eventually discriminate them. And these are very common in our society even to the present times. Right?
Yes.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
so do you understand now?
Yes, ma'am. Understand.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
So today, you're going to differentiate biases and prejudices. So at the end of the lesson, you're expected to, everybody, kindly read our objectives for today's lesson.
Yan,
Identify
nasa
bias and
End of the
yes,
prejudice.
nasa
lesson, the student must be must be able to A, identify bias
voice
and
prejudice.
prejudice. B,
Related
relate
Related
effects
to
of
bias
biases
and
and
prejudices in real life
prejudices in a
situations in
real-life
your life.
situation. C,
participate
participate
participate actively
actively in class discussion. And D, take
And
and
take
pass a
on
quiz with a mastery level of 75%.
So thank you everyone. So that's our objectives for today's lesson. So today now it's time to you to know more about prejudices and biases. But before that, here are some guide questions for you to ponder on while our discussion is going on. So everybody kindly read some guide questions using your eyes only. So thank you everyone. Now, class, get your ballpen and your notebook. I want you to watch this video and take down notes. Because I will ask you the guide questions you read earlier after you finish watching the given video. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is bias? Let's say that I have a science presentation in class today. And then Ms. Gundan asks for everyone to vote for the student with the best presentation. She asks us to write it down to a little piece of paper and give it to her. I think I did pretty okay. I know I'm going to vote for my friend Crystal. Do you know why? I pick my friend Crystal because she is my best friend forever, and that means I am biased towards her. But what is bias? Bias is when we lean towards something or someone without any logical reasoning or thinking. It is important to remember that bias can be good or bad simply because it is the way we view and understand the world based on our lived experiences. With that, bias can either be good if it leads to something good, or it could be bad if it leads to bad or something unfair. That is why my job as a human being is to be aware of my biases and be very careful with it. Why do you think that is? You got it right. I need to be very careful so that I don't treat people or situations unfairly. And nobody likes that, right? That's influence because she was my best friend. Well,
because it was unfair because I did not pick the person with the best presentation. Instead, I picked and voted my friend to make her happy and because I really liked her. I realized that if I was paying attention to my biases, I'd be very careful not to or vote my friend. Instead, I picked the student with the best presentation, even if they weren't my friend. There's a lot of different types of biases because our brain is just so smart. Can you think of other examples of bias? Now let's move to what is prejudice. Today is the first. As I started to walk into school, I saw this amazing Lamborghini car pull up to the school's parking lot, and I saw a new kid coming out of it. Wow, I thought he must be rich. People who usually drive a Lamborghinis are rich people. Anyway, I went to the class and then I found out the new kid in my class. Mr. Hart, our teacher, asked everyone to introduce ourselves, and then I found out that the new kid's name is Jake. Soon the bell rang and it was recess time. My friends and I started to play in the playground. We noticed Jake was walking in the playground. Mr. Hart asked us to let him play with us. I told Mr. Hart that I didn't want to play with him because he must be snotty. Mr. asked why I thought this about Jake. I said because he was riding a Lamborghini and so he must be rich, and rich people are snotty. That is called prejudice, Mr. Hart said. What does that mean? Mr. Hart said that prejudice is when we make a prejudgment. Prejudice is when we have thoughts and feelings or beliefs about someone or something before knowing facts and information about it. You made a judgment about Jake before you got to know him based on your thoughts about rich people. So, is prejudice bad? Mr. Hart said that prejudice is bad when we act upon it. It is normal to have somewhat prejudgment about people and things, but we should always make sure we are careful with it so that we don't treat people fairly. I felt bad after what Mr. Hart told me, so I went to Jake at the end of the day and I started to get to know him. I even asked him to play tag with us the next day.
Uh, Now it's time for us to answer the guide questions. So number 1, kindly read. Gladys.
What is bias based from the
Okay, class. Based from the video, what is bias? So who can answer? Yes, Miss Gretchen.
Bias is what bias is what we lean towards something or someone without any logical reasoning or thinking.
Yes, very good. So bias is when we lean towards something or someone without any logical reasoning or thinking. So let's go to question number 2. Nell Rose, kindly read question number 2. Nell Rose, are you
Wait,
there?
naga-delay ang ano mo, naga-delay ang slide.
Okay, okay.
So question number 2 is why is it the bias can be good or bad?
So Nelly, why is it that bias can be good or bad?
Pardon, nag-ano ka, natutod.
So what do you think, Nelly? Why is it bias can be good or bad?
For me, bias is dapat equal treatment mong. So, for me, bad. Am I right?
Yes, that's
Ma'am,
correct.
I can help Nelly.
So thank you, Nelly and Gretchen.
Ma'am,
Why is it?
why is that bias can be good or bad? Bias can be good or bad simply because it is the way we view and understand the world based on our life experiences. Bias can be good when it leads to something good, and it can be bad when it leads to something bad and unfair.
Yes, very good, Gretchen. That's correct. So, bias can be good or bad simply because it is the way we view and understand the world based on our experiences. And with that, bias can be either be good if it leads to something good, or it could be bad if it leads to bad or something unfair. So, in generalization, bias is what we call unfair. So, let's go to number 3. Gladys, kindly read question number 3.
As a human being, how would you avoid being biased to someone?
So, as a human being, how we can avoid being biased to someone? So, who can answer? Just open your mic if you want to answer. Yes, Gladys?
I can avoid bias when I should think clearly before decide to any situation or decision I will do.
Yes, that's correct, Gladys. So, as a human being, we can avoid being biased to someone by choosing our words carefully and always be aware of our decisions towards something or someone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, very good. So, let's go to number 5. Kindly read
Or
question number 5. Yes, Era?
Ma'am, still in number 4.
Number,
4.
sorry. Sorry. Let's go to number 4. So, kindly read question number 4. Era? Miss
Ma'am, there's no
Ma'am, na
slides
slide.
for question number 4.
So, right.
yes, kita ko ron. So, can you share some of your experiences when you are being biased towards someone or when someone being biased towards you? For
So,
example,
mm, yes, Era.
um, bala sa balay,
Yes.
kung may natapos sa imo nga libayon or may bigla lamang tanang naghibi, so ang imo nga nanay, bukod ta na bias, kita. Because
Yes, that's correct.
kita lamang ka na magkampi, di ba, sa nagahibi. So, rada na ginabuo ang side mo, kag ang side na. So, dapat, ang bias kita sa darwa. Dapat ipakinggan natin ang side ka sara para ma-avoid natin ang unequal treatment. That's
Yes,
Yes,
all.
yes. And it shows
very good,
na
Era.
it
Yes,
shows na
Gretchen.
nakikinig lang yung mother doon sa umiiyak, hindi doon sa kapatid na hindi umiyak. Parang kinakampihan niya yung umiiyak lang.
Yes, that's correct. There was bias between you and your siblings, right? So
Yes.
thank you for sharing your experiences, Era and Gretchen. So let's go to number 5. Kindly read question number 5. Mr. Romeo, kindly read question number 5.
Question number 5. What is prejudice as mentioned in the video?
So what is prejudice as mentioned in the video? So who can answer? Yes, Gretchen?
Prejudice is when we make a prejudgment. It's like when we have thoughts and feelings or beliefs about someone or something before we know knowing the before knowing the truth or before knowing the information. We are
Yes.
prejudging.
Very good, Gretchen. So, prejudice is when we have thoughts and feelings or beliefs about someone or something before knowing the facts and information about it. So, like the example in the video you watched, she made a judgment, right, about Jake before she got to know him based on her own thoughts about rich people, right?
Yes,
Okay, so let's go to number six question. Question number six. So, Gladys, kindly read question number six.
Is prejudice bad? Why?
So, is prejudice bad? And why? So, who can answer? Yes, Gretchen. Gretchen, kindly open your mic.
sorry. Yes, prejudice is bad, but it becomes bad when we act upon it. So, but it's normal to have some prejudgment about people and things, but we should always make sure that we are careful with it so we don't treat people badly or unfair.
Yes, that's correct. So, like Mr. Hart said in the video, right? So, it is normal to have some prejudgment about people and things, but we should always make sure we are careful with it so that we don't treat people unfairly.
Yes, yes.
So, yes. So, let's go to question number seven. So, how can we avoid prejudging others? So, how can we avoid prejudging others? So, who can answer? Yes, Gretchen. Please open your mic, Miss Gretchen.
Yes, sorry. By don't judge the person easily, but and we should choose our words before we talk to them.
Yes, that's correct. And yes, Gladys.
We can avoid prejudging others if we don't talk about them when we don't know them personally, or we don't know their lives, or we don't judge them based on their appearance or race. That's it.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, that's correct. Very good, Gretchen and Gladys. So we can avoid prejudging others by always being careful and aware of the things that we are saying to someone. So that we can treat them fair and equal. Do you understand? So
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
let's go
Yes,
to our
ma'am.
last question. Question number 8. So who can read question number 8? Yes, Miss Nell Rose, kindly read question number 8.
Can you can you share of your experiences when you are prejudging towards someone or when someone is prejudging towards you?
So who can share their experiences when you are prejudging towards someone or when someone is prejudging towards you? So who can share? Please open your mic if you want to share. Yes, Nelly.
Ma-
siguro I have this example like daw gina-discriminate ka nga gina-underestimate like that.
Yes.
Ikaw kang somewhat like hindi mo kaya siguro which is ang capacity mo gina-down.
True to life.
Yes,
Am I
thank
right?
you. Yes, that's correct. So, thank you, Nelly. And so, who can share their experiences? So, Gretchen, please share your experiences.
Ah, OMG, ano ba? Ma'am, siguro yung ano, when I stopped schools, some of
And
my neighborhood tell me na, hindi yan nakaka-graduate, mag-aasawa agad yan, like that. Na parang ginudge na nila ako agad. But now, I'm too, but now, yeah, I graduated and, you know, I made it.
wow, very good, Gretchen. So, another another one. Yes, Miss Gladys.
Ma'am, when my sister told my mother to keep schooling because, ano daw, wala daw akong kwenta, gano'n. Tas ano daw, hindi daw makakatapos at asawa din.
But you graduate.
I graduate. I proved them wrong.
Wow, that's
Wow,
so
they're very good.
very good. Oh, so very good, everyone. Thank you for sharing your wonderful experiences. So let's go to our activity. Sorry. So let's have a recap first. So again, what is the difference between bias and prejudice? Yes, Gretchen.
The
Please open
difference
your.
between bias and prejudice is bias means you treat unfairly, and prejudice is the prejudgment, judging someone.
Yes, very good. Thank you, Gretchen. So let's give Gretchen a 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, so that is all about prejudice and bias. Now let's have an activity. Oh, sorry. Do you have any clarification?
No, ma'am, I understand.
No, ma'am. We understand.
No.
Okay. So if you have no any clarification, let's have
Nothing.
an activity. So, so group yourselves into 3 groups. This time, each group will do the following activity that I will assign to them. And a rubric will also be shown as your guide in doing this activity. So please group yourselves into 3 groups. So for group 1, prayer from the heart. I will assign it to group of Gretchen. So what you're
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to do is compose a personal prayer for people who have been prejudged, have been discriminated, and have experienced biases in life. Do you understand, Gretchen?
Yes, ma'am. Noted.
Okay, so these rubrics will shown as your guide. So, okay na, Gretchen? So, let's go to group 2. Sing me a song. So, this activity, I will assign it to Miss J-Ann. What you're going to do, Miss J-Ann, is choose and perform a song that would inspire people who have been prejudged, have been discriminated, and have experienced biases in life. And this is the rubrics to shown as your guide in doing this activity. Do you understand, Miss Jayan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And let's go to group 3. I will assign it to Miss Gladys. Share me your feelings. So what you're going to do, Miss Gladys, is create a rap or poem that shares your feelings about prejudice and biases. Do you understand, Miss Gladys? And this is the rubrics that you're going to follow or your guide in doing this activity. Do you understand, Miss Gladys? Just
Yes,
open your.
mom.
So very
On
good.
your mark.
So I will give you 3 minutes to prepare in your presentation, and after that, each group will present it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so time starts now.
Wait, wait lang.
One, two, three.
Done.
Okay, so time's up. Oh, sorry. So, okay, so time's up. It's time for you to present your activity. So let's go to group 1. Miss Gretchen, kindly
Okay,
present.
ma'am. I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay, so this is my prayer that I made a while ago. So I will start now. Almighty God, creator and upholder of all things, take from our hearts that hatred which is judging others by the color of their skin and condemns others. for the class of their families, so that love may rule and justice prevail to the benefit of all. For Christ's sake, amen. I'm done.
Wow, thank you, Gretchen. What a beautiful prayer. So let's give. Do
Thank
you know
you.
angel clap?
We don't
Devil
know,
clap.
ma'am.
Like this?
Yes, that's correct. So, so let's give Gretchen angel clap.
Oh
One,
no.
two, woot,
I
woot. One, two,
One,
woot,
two,
woot. One, two,
one, two,
woot. Again. Miss J.Ann, please open your video. Miss
Allah.
J.Ann, kindly open your video. Let's give Gretchen angel clap.
toot, toot. Diba?
Wait.
So, one, two. Okay,
One,
ready,
one,
start. One,
Let's see the
one, two, toot,
woot, woot.
toot.
One, two,
One,
woot,
two,
woot.
toot.
One, two,
One, two,
woot.
toot, toot.
So, thank you, everybody. So, let's go to, group 2.
Oh
To
my
be
God.
present by
Jayan.
Miss J.Ann. Okay,
Okay,
Miss
let's go.
J.Ann.
Wait,
Open
game
your
na?
video.
Yes. You may start.
Okay, game na.
Open your
One, two,
video.
three, go. Ay, may babasahin kasi ako eh.
So,
But,
It's okay.
it's okay.
okay, game na.
Yes,
Nare-record
go.
naman, di ba, ma'am? Di ba,
Yes,
ma'am?
ma'am. Yes, J.Ann. Please continue.
Yun na. Okay, one, two, three, go. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, like bombs inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice? This time, this is my fight song. Take back my life song. Provide more rights song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fire left in me. Okay na.
Wow, what a beautiful voice and a wonderful song. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
do you know ang galing clap?
Ang galing clap.
How it is. Like
This
this.
one, two, ang galing. One, two, ang galing. One, two, ang galing, galing.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, again. One,
One,
two,
two,
ang
ang
galing.
galing.
One, two,
One,
ang galing. One, two, ang galing,
galing,
galing.
galing.
So, let's go to group 3.
Group
Miss
3.
Gladys.
Okay, ma'am. This is the group. It's a poem.
Yes.
The title is Blind Loyalty. Dwindle those who resist the force, never multiply those who love the force, never less shall be. The force, the power, the one, the only what must be. Tall, magnificent, handsome shall be our destiny. Cast your wars and commit your sins that should never be. We will follow to the end with our blind loyalty. Done, ma'am.
Wow, thank you, Miss Gladys. What a wonderful poem. So let's give Gladys a love clap. Do you know what is the love clap?
We don't know.
So this is love clap. One, two, uy, uy, love. Again. Let's give Gladys a love clap.
One,
One, two,
two, two,
uy,
and
uy, love.
love.
So thank you everyone. So let's go to our assessment. So choose the correct answer that is best reflected in the given scenario. Write the letter of your answer on a piece of paper. So, do you understand, class?
Yes, ma'am.
I will
Yes,
give
ma'am.
you 5 seconds to answer in every question. And you must write your answer in the paper, okay? So after you finish answering, please take it a picture and send it to our group chat. I will be the one to check it. Do you understand? Okay, so number 1. Denying someone a
Yes, ma'am.
promotion because of his sexual orientation.
A.
Write
Number
down
2.
their
Oh, please don't speak answer, okay?
I sorry.
So let's go to number 2. Firing a woman from her job upon learning of her pregnancy. Number 3. Offering higher pay to a newly hired Christian physician over a mainstream Muslim doctor. So let's go to number 4. Putting a greater number of washrooms in the airports for females than males. Number 5. Being not invited over a classy neighborhood party because of their ethnicity and origin. And let's go to our test B. This is what we call tell me. So what you're going to do is examine closely the images, then identify if it is bias or prejudice. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so number 1, bias or prejudice. Number 2, bias or prejudice. Number 3, is it bias or prejudice?
Bias.
Number
Both,
4,
ma'am, please.
bias or prejudice. And number 5, is it bias or prejudice? Okay, time's up. So everybody is finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
very good. It's checking time. Number 1, denying someone a promotion because of this sexual orientation. Letter A, bias. Letter B, prejudice. Letter C, no bias or prejudice. So what is the answer?
Prejudice.
So
Prejudice?
number 1 is
Yes.
prejudice. So who got the correct answer? Wow, everybody get the correct answer. Very good. So let's
Oh,
go to question number 2. Firing a woman from her job upon learning of her pregnancy. Letter A, bias. Letter B, prejudice. Letter C, no bias and prejudice. So what is the answer?
Prejudice?
Yes, Miss Gretchen.
Prejudice po.
Very good,
Yeah.
Gretchen.
I got
So
the
let's
perfect
go to
score.
wow. That's that's nice. So let's go to number 3. Offering higher pay to a newly hired Christian physician over a mainstay Muslim doctor. So letter A,
Mama ko.
bias. Letter B, prejudice. Letter C, no bias or prejudice. Yes,
Alam
Miss
ko yan, alam ko
Jason.
yan.
What's
Bias.
the Yes, very good, Miss Jayan. So let's go to number 4. Putting up a greater number of washrooms in airports for females than males. A, bias. B,
Ma'am, me
prejudice.
again.
C,
Me.
no bias or prejudice. Yes, Miss Jayan.
Bias again.
Very good, Miss Jayan. Let's go
Oh,
to
stop
number
laughing.
5. Being not invited over a classy neighborhood party because of their ethnicity and origin. Letter A, bias. Letter B, prejudice. Letter C, no bias or prejudice. Yes, Miss Gretchen. What is the answer?
Prejudice.
Very good, Miss Gretchen. So, who's
Prejudice.
got the perfect score for our 1 to 5 quiz?
Just four.
I got
At
4.
four.
So, Gladys got the
Glad,
perfect score.
Gladys got zero.
ma'am,
So, Gladys, what is your score?
ma'am.
So, everybody got 4, only 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, it's okay. Very good, everyone. So, let's go to our test B. Is it bias or prejudice?
Ma'am, me.
Um,
Prejudice.
yes, Miss Jayan.
Prejudice.
Why is it prejudice?
Because, I don't know.
Meaning, ha ha ha.
Yes, there is.
Laugh
Someone
at
disabled.
the disabled person.
There is a discrimination. So look at the
Yes.
picture. The picture shows a man who believes that he is better than a person who is or who
Disabled.
person with
Nagdalag,
disability
nagdalag.
by laughing at him, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's go
Yes,
to
ma'am.
question number 2. Is it bias or prejudice?
Bi-
Bias.
Very
bias ka?
good. Why is it bias?
Oh, because the man should work, but the woman should take care of the child.
Yes, very good, Miss Gladys. So, there, as you can see in the picture, it is considered bias. Why? Because to be specific, you can see the man here in the picture will have a good job, right? So there has a male there is a gender bias in the
Oh,
picture.
Gender unfairness.
Oh, right. So where the male is given superiority over the female, right?
Yes, yes.
So let's go to question number 3. Is it bias or prejudice?
Prejudice.
bias.
Prejudice.
Or
Prejudice.
Yes, Gretchen, you got it right. It is
Yeah,
prejudice.
prejudice.
Why is it
Okay.
prejudice, Miss Gretchen? Gretchen, please turn on your mic.
Because they discriminate the poor people.
poor
It
man.
is two is the person they discriminate the person with the bug. It is two person was really
Jobless.
Yes. Yes, that's very good. So look at the picture. The two mean judge the man by his status, right?
yes, yes.
So let's go
Yes,
to
ma'am.
number 4. Is it bias or prejudice?
It's prejudice.
Prejudice.
Very good, everybody. So
Prejudice.
why is it prejudice?
Because he judged
The
someone with looks, with race.
the white people discriminate black people. Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
This
that's
one
correct.
is but also the black people discriminate the bald one.
Yeah, right. They are discriminating each other. But the main uh the main reason in this video, it shows that the white people are judging someone due to color and race. So let's go to number 5. Is it bias or prejudice?
Bias?
Yes, very good, Miss
Okay, like
Gretchen.
that.
You're right. So it is bias because
they see the number six in a different angle. Right?
yes,
That's
as you
right.
can see, depending on which angle you use, you views the situation, right? So,
Yes, that's right.
so there was a bias. So let's go. So,
I
ep-
got five.
wow, very good. How about you, Miss Gladys?
Four. Four.
What? Perfect
Four,
score?
ma'am. No. I
Four?
got wrong on number three. I think or four.
Oh, okay. So, and you, Miss J Ann, how about you?
Antok ako eh.
Do you get a perfect
She,
score, Miss J
she got
Ann?
four also.
Not bad,
She got
ma'am.
That's not bad at all. So,
not
so
bad,
Yeah.
this,
but four.
so yeah. Everybody got 4 score.
No, I got five.
I got
Wow,
three.
very good, Gretchen. Let's give Gretchen a 5 claps.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
And please give also 3 claps to Gladys and Jayan because they have a passing score also.
Ma'am, I
One,
got
three.
1, 2, 3.
So thank you everybody, everyone. So let's go to our assignment. So everybody, please read your assignment.
I need to copy it.
Everybody, kindly read.
directions. In your short bond paper, draw a picture or
Application.
paste a picture that shows a situation in which bias or prejudice is present.
Show that bias or this is present.
A rubric will also be shown
A
as your guide
rubric
in
will
doing
also
this activity.
shown Question.
What can you say about the picture
What
or your drawing? What situation is being presented?
presented?
Okay,
Yes.
so thank you everyone. So for your
Thank you, Kapit.
assignment, directions in your short bond paper, draw a picture or paste a picture that in which shows situation in which bias or prejudice is present. A rubric will also be shown as your guide in doing this activity. So the question that you are going to answer are, what can you say about the picture or your drawing? What situation is being presented? So this is the rubric that will shown as your guide in doing this activity and doing your assignment. Let's take a picture of it or please screenshot.
I will see
Done, Mom.
Okay?
the
So thank you everyone for your active participation and God bless us all. So goodbye
Thank you,
class.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
See you
Mom. See
next.
you next
감사합니다.
week. 안녕하세요.
Bye.
Bye.
안녕하세요.
감사합니다.
안녕하세요.
Bye class.
Take a photo.
안녕하세요.